Greetings everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope today finds you all doing truly awesome. I'm Lady Starfire and today I want to bring you some information about spell techniques. There's all kinds of different spells out there, and no, I'm probably not going to come close to covering them all today, but I do want to hit on some for you, for those of you that are trying to figure out maybe what kind of spells you want to do, what's the best way. First, always remember, the number one rule is ask yourself, would I want this done to me? If the answer is no, that means you don't do that spell because we don't want to go against the free will of another. Okay? So, disclaimer said. So now let's move on to some different types of spells. All right? So we all know about using candles. Okay? Now there's all kinds of candles. There's the little, what I call wish candles. These they call household. There's jumbos. There are the 7-day jar candles. There's the candles that I make that come into jars like this. I mean, there are just so many different types of candles to use for spell work. Some people even use tea lights. Okay, so our candles, basically what we do is if you have one of these, you may want to carve in it, carve the name, the intention, whatever it is that you're doing, okay? Rub it down with some oil. Now, if it's something that you're sending away from you, we rub oil from the center out, going all the way around. If we're bringing it to us, then we go in to the center all the way around, over, into the center all the way around, okay? This is after you carve in it. And then it gets put into your candle holder, and you then do whatever else you're doing with your spell. Okay? Like I said, there's all kinds of candles. I've got spell kits that have votives in them. So, like I said, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is you're doing, you have to figure out a way to put your intent into that candle. Okay? So, that's our candles. All right. Next on our list is sigils. All right. So, now you've seen me talk about sigils. I've done videos on how to make sigils. So if you want to know more about them, go check out one of those videos and it'll show you how to make them and all that. But sigils can be used so many different ways, okay? Sigils can be done as protection. After you cleanse your home, hang them up above your doors, your windows, or wherever. You can use them for money and put it in your wallet or wherever you keep your money and stuff, fold it up with it to help, bring that money. But remember, we put our tin in it, but you need to further state what it is it's supposed to be doing, okay? You can, if you make a little charm bag or something that has things in it, depending on what it is, you can make a sigil and add to that, all right? So it's just kind of endless. I did a video, I don't know if it's, that recently, about activating and charging sigils, and the difference in permanent and temporary. So if you didn't catch that one, go watch it. It'll give you a whole lot more information about this, okay? So also, the next on the list, since I'm not going to go into that too much because you can go watch that video, is Poppet. Now, I don't have any right now to just show you, so I did get some little pictures just to give you some ideas, okay? So there's that kind, you can make it a little more, fancy of some sort. Or you can do the corn husk. If you're, where they've recently had corn and, you keep the husk, you can make what they call a corn husk dolly, which can also be a type of Poppet, or they also call them voodoo dolls, okay? This one is done a little different. These kind here, you're going to make out of cloth. Okay. You don't have to go spend a lot of money buying the little ones that are cloth. Just find you a pattern, get you some material, cut it out, sew it up. All right. Sew it by hand, on the machine, whatever. The more energy you put in it, like by doing it by hand, the better they're going to work. Now, that being said, if you make one of these and it represents a person, you are now responsible for them and their well-being. All right? So be careful with that. one of the reasons I got the blue one here, blue is for healing. They can be used for healing, okay? It's what's called sympathetic magic, okay? Because sympathetic, as in we have an object here that represents somebody or something, okay? Now, to make this a representation, you're going to stuff it with cotton and different things like that. Clothing of the person, if you have it, or anything. If they smoke, get their cigarette butt, stick that in there. Whatever, okay? Just something personalized of the person, okay, that you put inside to make it more that person. And so if you're doing healing, then you have this of that person. Make sure you have their permission. And whatever problem it is that they're having, you can work on that, okay? The purpose of the pins, yes, if you're being dastardly, then yes, it's like, make that leg hurt, whatever, okay? But the purpose is, all right, so this person has heart issues, okay? So I am directing energy towards their heart and the healing, and at the point of really sending that energy to them, they put the pin in there. That pin is to pinpoint where the problem is, not to cause a problem, okay? We're pinpointing it, and this is where I need all of this healing energy to go, is right here. Fix it, okay? This is the proper way to use one. Still remember that you have to have the person's permission. If it's for someone else, you can make this for yourself, okay? And work on healing on you, all right? Yes, people use them for love, and they use them for all sorts of things, but it so borders on black magic, and a lot of those things, that healing is really the best one to do. If you're going to make something that is representing someone else, make it to represent yourself, okay? And give yourself love. Give yourself healing. Give yourself whatever, and you don't even have to use pins. You can put oil and things on there, okay? Keep it wrapped up in a safe place. Put it in a mirror box, for added protection and things when it's not in your physical possession, okay? Because we don't want to have one on us and somebody else get their hands on it. So make sure you keep it in a safe place, all right? Don't be out doing bad stuff to people. It's not okay, all right? So we also have what's called a spell bag or a mojo bag. It's just simply a little drawstring bag of some sort that you're going to put things in, all right? You're going to put herbs, stones. You can add oils. You can add sigils. You can put in it whatever it is that you want, depending on what kind you're making. They come in different colors. So, if you're doing one for money, then this green one would be perfect for that. But so choose the color and, choose the items to go in it for the purpose. All right. Don't try to take one and go, well, I'm just going to use one and I'm going to put money stuff and love stuff and healing stuff and protection stuff all in this one bag. Okay. It's just going to be hard, to focus, because today I want to work on money, but you've got all this other stuff in there. All right. So have a separate bag for each purpose. Okay. And you carry them with you. You put them in your purse. You can make a protection one, put it under the seat in your car, or hang it, you can hang it from the rearview mirror. I'd throw it under my seat, probably, keep it out of the sun. Leave them at home on your altar. It depends on what it is you're doing with it. Okay. Doing one for money, throw some money in there. Okay. Be sure. All right. So, there's just so many different ways to do it. Now, the thing with these bags is, they also tend to manifest what your intent on where it is. Okay. So if you're making one for your friend, because they don't know how, so they ask you to make them a protection one for their home and everything, and you make it, you charge it, and you give it to them. It's not going to protect their home in your possession, okay? It needs to go to that person, all right? That's why I said if you're doing one for money, be sure to put money in it. You can carry it in your purse, or you can leave it on your altar, with money or something, okay? Because that's, we're trying to manifest money coming into our home, and that's fine, okay? But be sure you put money with it. So, just make sure you put the things with your bag, with it, in it, whatever, and that the bag is in the place it needs to be for what you're trying to attract to you. Okay? Doesn't make sense? Leave me a comment. I'll try to explain it a little better to you. Okay? And while we're at it, click the like for me. It helps YouTube know that y'all like my videos and keeps them out there for other people to find. And don't forget to share it. Okay? If you haven't subscribed, please do. Click the bell. You'll find out every time I do a new video. Now, bottles and jars. All right. I did a video a long time ago about putting people in jars. I may, I don't know, may just cover it here too. Doing bottles and jars. Now they can be all sorts of things. Okay. You can do little bottles that are for prosperity or love or protection or healing or whatever, and carry with you that you put herbs and stones and oils and things like that in. Okay. If you don't order them off the internet, okay. If somebody's not making it special for you, or where you can like walk in my store and I have a few, you can feel it, or ask me to make you one special, and I can do that too. If you're not one that has all, an array of herbs and oils at your house. But, those all do specific things for you. Okay. Now, jars. Now you can make protection jars. I got a video out there on that, and that's still for you, and that's great. There are other types of jars and bottles where we put that they are for other people. Okay. Like in my store, I sell a sweet jar and a sour jar, and they are okay to do, but you need to be careful. Okay. There's some right and wrong ways of doing them. Usually I tell people do them for like court or, something temporary. Okay. That you're just trying, you need to sweeten, the disposition of some people, to rule for you in something. Okay. Then you can do one for that. The sour jar should never be used for revenge. Okay. Because it's going to come back and bite you in the butt every time. Let me tell you. But it can be used more like for justice. Okay. Or you want this person to leave you alone, so you just want their feelings for you to sour. Okay. Just, you just don't want to be around anymore. Don't try to use a sour jar to break up people. Don't do that. Okay. That's going to come back later and bite you too. Karma. Okay. So, but, jars and bottles, we put things in, but now they take longer to work because things have to get mixed. It has to get charged. It has to get out there, and you have to work this thing every single day. Okay. And then, and keep putting that energy in it, constantly, and concentrating on what it is and its purpose is. And then once it's served its purpose and you don't need it anymore, then, you take it to a river, open it up. If you can't open it, bust the jar, but don't put glass in the river, but, dump the contents and let the water wash it away. But be careful putting people in jars. Okay. Especially, one where you're trying to make that person stay and do all that kind of stuff and they don't belong there, you're not going to be happy. I promise you, it's a bad thing. Just don't do it. So I'm not teaching you how to do those. But this is another type of spell work. Okay. Now there is another one that is called knot spells or cord spells. I'll give you a little extra thing to go with that. But, cords are used to bind, okay, for one. But we can also do knots, all right? And, the number of knots can depend on what it is you're doing. And you state your intent as you tie a knot in that cord, okay? And then, there's your intent. You can add little charms or beads or something like that to it if you want. But, each one, you're stating your intent. And you move down a little further and you do another one. Except you're going to tie that down tight. So, this is a great type of magic. for something that you're wanting to tie in there. So, for protection, is a great thing for these. They use it for, a lot of times they'll put a certain number of knots down it. And so when they've got a chant that they need to say a certain number of times so that they didn't lose count, they would simply, hold a bead each time that they said the chant. So they knew, okay, that was 3, or that was 6, or that was 9, or that was 13, or, however many they were supposed to. And they're not having to go 1, 2, and wait a minute, how many was that? And now you're not concentrating on what you're supposed to anymore. So this helps, okay? Kind of like a prayer bead type thing. But, when you need to, you're chanting something out, you need to do a certain number of times, this helps you because, it's just simply used for counting. So the knots don't have a purpose other than you've got the knots or you've got a bead knotted in there so that it helps you to count without paying attention to it. You keep doing your chant and you just keep working your way down it. Okay? I hope that one helps you some. All right, so the counting one deal is the witch's ladder. Okay, that's the name of that one. All right, so now when you're doing one where you are tying a knot and you're doing a certain spell with it, okay, there's a little thing that goes with this. And so, you may want to write this down, all right, or you can look it up or something, but you're going to tie each knot firmly, okay, as you're casting your spell. And it's knot 1, the spell's begun. Okay, then knot 2, it will be true. Knot 3, it shall be. Knot 4, it is lore. Knot 5, the magic's alive. Knot 6, the spell is fixed. Knot 7, chance 11. Knot 8, my will is fate. Knot 9, it's sealed in twine. Okay? And then you're done with whatever. Then that, your whole thing was whatever your purpose was, okay, when you're casting the spell. So as you're thinking on it, meditating, whatever, okay? So long as the knots stay firmly tied, all right, your spell is alive. To break the spell, you actually untie those knots. If for any reason you ever need to undo a knot spell, you untie the knots, and that actually is undoing that spell, okay? So, like I said, you can tie other things in it. Maybe it represents what each knot is for or something. Different spells, weaving them in, different things like that, okay? You can also use knots is at the end of a spell where you actually are going to burn it, okay? And, or however else you may want to destroy it. And it is then trapped in that smoke, or the spell is sealed, okay? And once you do that, it can never be undone, all right? So be sure that it's something that you want to last forever before doing that, okay? So I hope that helps you on that part, okay? All right, we also have verbal spells, okay? Simply stating them, putting it out into existence, all right? So with a chant or something, okay? So verbally stating our spell, which should usually be added to any of the other ones. A candle spell, a cord spell, a mojo bag, our sigil, all of those things, okay? You should also add that verbal to it because it's radiating out from you then. It's fine to do things in here. Maybe you don't have a choice, don't ever have time to yourself, that's okay. But remember, when your voice goes out, the universe hears it and returns to you, okay? So, let that voice vibration get out there. That's, your energy, your intent, you push it out like that, okay? So, one more, and that is petitions, okay? A petition is something we write out. All right, we write out whatever it is that our intent is. Now, if you have a jar candle, we'll pretend like that is, you can wrap it around it. You can put it under it. You can have a candle here, light this off the flame, and burn it. You can put it into a fire and burn it that way. It can be buried. It can be folded up and put in your bag, okay? There's no real rules on it. Just make sure that your wording is precise. And, depending on whatever it is that you're doing. So mote it be. Maybe it harm none. So mote it be. And sign your name. You got a witch's name? Use your witch's name, okay? But, this is always a good way to do some spell work, to add to spell work, okay? There's so many different things out there that you can do, okay? Because maybe you don't have money to go out and buy candles or stones or, your mojo bags or whatever. Write out a petition and use it however it is that you need to. It's like your sigils. The only thing they cost you is a piece of paper. Or maybe even a small piece of paper, okay? Because they don't have to be big. So, just because we don't have enough money to go buy something doesn't mean we can't do magic, okay? There's always a way. You can, if you live near a beach, write it out in the sand close, where the water is going to come in. So the water comes and washes it out into the ocean or the Gulf or the whatever, depending on where you live, okay? So, there's just a lot of different ways to do these. If you live where there's desert, go make it in the sand. And when the winds come, they blow it to the wind. It's just, you can do things without having to spend hordes of money, okay? And watch out for those people out there that keep overcharging for stuff. It's ridiculous, okay? Absolutely ridiculous. And make sure what you're getting is the real thing, all right? So I hope this helps you to understand, the different spell techniques, all right? Just remember, make sure that when you're doing spells that you're doing them the right way. I don't want you ending up with bad karma. That's why I don't really teach a whole lot of spell stuff, but I try to teach you the right ways to do it. All right. So, think about it. Ask yourself, would I want this done to me if your spell that you're doing is going to affect someone else? Okay. The best spell work you can do is to enrich your life. Okay. Just remember that. Enrich your life. And if you're worried about self-gain, I did a whole video on that too. Okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. Don't be greedy. That's what that's talking about. Don't be greedy. But there's nothing wrong with doing protection for yourself or asking for what you need. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that at all. All right? So don't let anybody tell you that it is. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you. Let me know what kind of spell things you do. And if you use something else, that may help somebody else that reads the comments. All right? If you need further clarification, you know how to reach me. If you want to become a member, there's a join button down there somewhere. You can click on it and you can see what's available. Just because you click on it doesn't make you automatically join. All right. So anyway, until the next time, I hope this helps you, and happy spell working, and please be safe, be careful, and remember, harm none. All right. So until the next time, everyone have a wonderful day and blessed be.